What's up guys, different kind of video today. I'm going to go over my journey for gaming mice ever since my G Pro Wireless X Superlight died, which I'm going to refer to as the GPX1. I had to move on from the GPX because the mouse click of the left mouse button, if I hit it 50 times and I get 5 actual clicks out of it, that makes me lucky because it's pretty much broken. So yeah, I had to move on for that reason. I've used it for 5 to 6 years though. As you can maybe tell from the feet/skates, it's been used quite heavily. There's some like changing color on the sides of the skates and whatnot. Maybe you can't see it because my webcam isn't really the best. But anyway, I'm gonna go over my journey on how I ended up on my currently preferred gaming mouse. To start things off, the Xevichr M42, good mouse. A little too small for me though, so I knew that I didn't really want the Skyrox V8 because it's the same size. You can change the back hump with this other back hump that comes with the mouse. And the hump here is a little bit more aggressively to the back, which is what I prefer. And that's how I would hold my GPX, because I use relaxed claw grip, which means that I clench the mouse with the bottom of my palm. And as you can see, I have quite a bit of space in between the rest of my palm and the mouse. If I lie down for a second, my palm, you can see that it's quite some distance. And I don't arch my fingers in a very aggressive way. That's why I call it a relaxed claw, because I just leave them arched a little bit somewhere like around here. So it's not palm grip. It's not fingertip grip, because I'm still having contact with my palm. It is claw grip. And it is relaxed claw grip. So the normal traditional claw grip looks like this sort of. So where you arch your fingers a little more and where your wrist is a little more forward, because mine's a little more back. But traditional claw puts the palm a little bit on the mouse and then just arches the fingers more to compensate for the wrist being more forward. At least that's my interpretation of the normal traditional claw grip. So anyway, the GPX. So that's my claw grip, my relaxed claw grip. My hand size is 19 by 9.5 if you count the thumb with it. From the top of my middle finger to my wrist, from the widest part of the side of my hand to the widest part of the side of my hand. With thumb. So pretty standard hand size, I would say so myself. So I didn't buy the GPX2 for that reason mainly, because I knew my grip didn't appeal to the mouse very well. But also because the G Pro Wireless X Superlight 2, the GPX2 is not really a good successor. Side button, still the same issues with the scroll wheel, click and whatnot, whatever. So I looked further, and it's expensive, but whatever. So I looked further, and the first mouse I ended up on is the Razer Viper V3 Pro, which I do not actually have here. My father has it, and it's like the Xevichr M42, meant for, at least with this hump, meant for the traditional aggressive claw, which is not my grip. And, wait, does it have the right hump actually? Yeah, it does. So yeah, this is the Xevichr M42 with the other hump, and you can tell that the hump is a little bit more present in the back, which is what I like more with my grip, so I can wrap around that with my palm for that extra control. So the other hump doesn't have that, and the Viper V3 Pro is a lot like that. And because of that, I don't really hold the Viper V3 Pro the preferred way. And yeah, I moved on from it really quickly. My father has it now though, so it's not like I wasted my money. He really likes the mouse, so that's good. So yeah, I moved on from the Viper V3 Pro. I ended up on the Lamzu Inca, which is my preferred gaming mouse right now. Over all of these other mice as well. So I can nail my grip completely on this mouse. I have contact where I want it in the back here. And I can, yeah, arch my finger slightly, and it just feels really good in the end. In general, the mouse feels really good. Mouse buttons, side mouse buttons, scroll wheel, skates are really good. So yeah, great mouse. Software a little mediocre, but whatever. It's just something you do once and then you're done. That's how I see it, at least. I still got the G3 Ultra after that as well, because I thought maybe this shape appealed just as much, but I don't really like the round part in the back around the hump, so I moved on it very quickly as well. It's a good mouse though, like the Viper V3 Pro, which I don't think I needed to tell you, with how many people probably already recommended that to you. But the shape is the most important, and that depends on your grip and your hand size. And for my grip, the G3 Ultra lacks a little bit. It's a little too round in the back, so I moved on from it. I'll get into something else later regarding this mouse, but whatever. We're gonna move on for now. This is the Xiaomi X1. The same Xiaomi that makes smartphones, by the way, if you were wondering. And if you can maybe tell, the hump is more aggressively in the back, even more so, a bit further in the back. And it's a generally bigger mouse. While I do like the more aggressive hump in the back, it is too big of a mouse for me though. So I moved on from that one as well. Again, very good mouse, but not quite it. And lastly, I got the Pulsar X2H V3. This is actually my preferred shape out of all of these mice, even over the Lamzu Inca. But the reason it's not my main mouse is because of everything on it pretty much, mostly the normal mouse clicks. Because I have to just try pretty hard for specifically the right mouse click. And it's really satisfying to click it on the Lamzu Inca. You get really nice bounce back, it's really nice and easy to spam it. And with the X2H V3, it takes more effort to spam click. And you don't really have that bounce back that the Lamzu Inca has, so I don't really like this mouse because of that. Everything else, the side buttons and the scroll wheel are good though. It is my preferred shape. The skates were perfectly fine. I did replace them with other skates though. If anyone's wondering, they are the Ghost Slides, Edge Runner, Micro, something like that. They are definitely an upgrade over the stock mice skate slash feet, so that's nice though. And this mouse, even though I don't like the clicks, is my secondary mouse. But the Lamzu Inca, why is it better, even though I like the shape of the X2H V3 more? Chris, weren't you going to say shape is king? And that is what I think. But the X2H V3 is close enough to the Lamzu Inca where I can prefer this shape more than enough to use it. And at the same time, the mouse clicks, the scroll wheel, the side buttons, the skates, everything is just better. Not anymore, now I replaced the mouse skates on the X2H with other ones, which I believe are better than these skates on the Lamzu Inca, but the stock skates on the Lamzu Inca were better. And this is my primary mouse for now. Also looked into the Skyrox V8, but it's the same size as the Xevichr M42, which I know for a fact is just too small for me. So I'm not really gonna bother with that. To conclude that specific part of my journey, you know at this point that shape is the most important, and shape depends on your grip. So make sure to just look up general shapes for palm grip and fingertip grip, or traditional claw grip if that's what you have. You know, for fingertip, go for a generally smaller mouse. For palm grip, try an ergo mouse really. You can also palm grip other mice really. They don't really have to be an ergo mouse, but that's probably what I would recommend. You don't have to at all though. Yeah, shape is king. Depends on your grip style completely. Apart from that, weight's also pretty nice to have. I would go as light as you can. I don't think you really have to bother that much though these days, because the heaviest mouse here, is the Xiaomi X1, and it's like 65 grams, so very light still. Coding and stuff, I don't really worry that much about coding. I think all of the codings here are pretty damn good though. I think the Xiaomi X1 actually has the best coding though, which is pretty surprising and pretty funny. Generally, all these mice that you see here, including the Xevichr M42, it's outdated though, so don't get it, but all of these mice are perfectly fine. And if I had to use the Xiaomi X1 or the Pulsar X2H V3 the rest of my life, I would be completely satisfied for the next 10 years pretty much. But yeah, other than that, two more things I want to go over. One is clones. So the GPX1, a friend of mine has the GPX2. I took my own GPX1 with me to my friend. But his main is actually the Mchose A7 Ultra. Which is a clone shape of the GPX. So it's the same shape. Very, very similar, like 1-to-1 pretty much. Almost. But yeah. So what's funny is that the GPX2 isn't quite a successor to the GPX1. And at the same time, the Mchose A7 Ultra is an upgrade from the GPX1. Regarding internals and mouse click, scroll wheel, side buttons, everything, also compared to the GPX2. And then you consider the fact that the Mchose A7 Ultra is also like half the price. And then it's kind of like, why would you ever get the GPX2? So look into your clones. You can use eloshapes.com for that one. You can look for, you can basically compare mice regarding specs and size, and you can just straight up look for mice with the same shape. So make sure to look into that. That's something I would definitely recommend, because I really do think the A7 Ultra is better than the GPX 1 and 2 while being cheaper. So that's pretty damn funny. Last thing I'm going to go over is this random phobia, especially in my own environment, for wireless mice. For some reason, people worry about interference, which doesn't really happen, and if it does, you can fix it pretty easily. But especially battery life, which is kind of like, okay, but if you go and watch a YouTube video or a stream, or you make your homework or whatever, you just attach it to a cable, you charge it, and it's full in like 10-15 minutes, depending on the mouse you have. And you can keep going for the next like 50 plus hours, depending on your polling rate. So yeah, kind of silly, really. There's also this belief where wireless mice are also slower than wired mice, which is also not really true, funnily enough, which is something I actually kind of believed in myself. But then you look on the internet and see that people do actual tests with like machines completely automated, and you find out that in some cases wireless mice are literally faster than flagship wired mice. And they've done tests like these like 5 years ago, and it was already like that back then. So that's pretty funny as well. So I wouldn't really worry about wireless mice like at all. Like, I do not like the cable being there. It's not that big of a deal, but there's no problem in wireless anyway either, because you can just charge the battery when you don't really need to use it intensively. You don't need that freedom. You can have a wire there. Yeah, interference isn't really going to happen, and when it does happen, you can probably fix it pretty easily. And yeah, I lied. There's one more thing to go over, and that is polling rate. So the Lamzu Inca supports 8K polling rate. When you do use 8K polling rate, it puts a little more strain on your PC, like your CPU, for the result that you get more signals to the PC, whatever. I'm not really going to explain it. All you need to know is 8K polling rate, the higher, the better. But at the same time, 1K is more than enough. And if you play on 8K, your battery life is going to suffer and your overall system is going to suffer. And another reason I play on 1K, other than your battery life suffering a bit, is that the game I'm currently playing, Marvel Rivals, doesn't even support 4K or 8K hertz, so it's kind of pointless because the game will lag completely. And that's for being a new game. That's pretty sad, to be fair. I do think we should work towards 8K polling rate, though. It's just the future, probably. Just improving on battery life and polling rate, even though 1K is perfectly fine anyway, but, you know, would be nice to see if it could be a little more consistent throughout games. And it would be a nice luxury to have, and it would be nice to... I mean, your system is still going to suffer under it, but computers are only going to get faster as well. And I hope to see battery life improve as well, so yeah. Anyway, I think I said everything I wanted to once again conclude literally everything. Shape is king. The shape you want depends on your grip. Look up your grip, try to find out what your grip is. Look into your hand size just in case as well. Yeah. Maybe try some mice, maybe don't. Make sure you don't go too small, make sure you don't go too big. All of these mice are perfectly fine regarding weight, clicks, side button, scroll wheel, feet, whatever. Feet is something you can replace if you want to. Mouse buttons maybe not so much, for example, but maybe in the future. Weight is not something to worry about. The heaviest one, as I said, is the Xiaomi X1. 65 grams, whatever, like something under 75 is perfectly fine. I do like how light the Inca is though, at like 45 or something like that. That's pretty nice, but it's not like the other ones are heavy. Like, apart from that, 1K polling rate's more than enough. And yeah. You don't need 8K polling rates, 1K polling rates fine. I do hope to see more 8K polling rates in the future though, actually being supported by games and actually not draining battery life as much or straining the system too much that you're using. And yeah, remember that wired mice are just as fast as wireless mice and the other way around as well. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, see you around. Bye.